best Archon quest ever. I've seen so many players say that after finishing this new Luna 7 Archon quest. And I understand why. Because this quest doesn't just feel big, it feels complete. Not because every mystery is solved, not because the story is over, but because Tevat actually feels like a world that remembers its own history.
所以我们要做的其实是既要保持原神这个作品的一个亲切感和代入感，让旅行成为生活的一部分，又要不断的去尝试这种新鲜的、令人惊喜的体验方式，让这种旅行可以沉淀情绪，持续的去具备意义。
For years, Genshin has been building up Sumeru, Irminsul, the Academia, Dotore, Nahida, Kole, the Desert Lord, King Deshret, the Jinn, even NPCs from daily commissions and reputation requests. And this quest somehow brings all of them back at the same time without feeling messy. The more of Sumeru you remember, the more this quest gives back to you. We reunite with old characters. We finally understand certain characters better. We see old storylines actually continue instead of being forgotten. Even smaller NPCs feel like people whose lives kept moving while we were away. What surprised me the most though is how carefully the quest handles scale. Because this quest is huge. There are so many characters here. Playable characters, desert characters, scholars, gods, harbingers, old NPCs, new NPCs. Normally, a cast this large would feel messy. Instead, everyone feels purposeful. Every group has a role. Every separation makes sense. While one team investigates the Irminsul, another handles evacuation. While one group researches Aru, another gathers the materials. While Lumine handles one crisis, other characters continue working elsewhere. And because of that, the world stops feeling like it only moves when the traveler arrives. It genuinely feels like an entire society trying to survive a catastrophe together. And the gameplay itself reinforces this. Usually in Genshin, gameplay mostly means you control Lumine, then other characters appear during battles. But here, we directly control other characters during the story itself. The Nefer investigation especially. It's actually a very short sequence, but making us walk as Nefer during the investigation ourselves somehow makes the entire situation feel more personal. Same with puzzle solving as Cafe. Same with exploration moments as Kole. Mechanically, they're simple. The game also could have easily turned those moments into cutscenes. But after playing them ourselves, the characters feel more actively involved in the crisis too. And because of that, character development stops feeling locked inside personal story quests. It keeps moving during the main crisis itself. Kole confronting her fears, Paimon trying to become more useful, Alhaitham and Cafe learning how to work together. Even smaller moments quietly push characters forward. Genshin has been experimenting with this kind of non-traveler gameplay for a while now. But I think it hits differently here because it's Sumeru. These characters already feel close to us. We've watched them grow closer across multiple years. Nahida helping others, Wanderer erasing his past self, Kole making friends, Simulanka, the Sub-Zero's festival, Wanderer in Notcry, and many other small moments from other quests. So when this quest splits them into groups, gives them responsibilities, and lets them rely on each other, it feels natural. I think the cinematography understands this too, especially with Nahida. One thing I kept noticing throughout the quest is that Nahida is rarely framed as an authoritarian figure. Even though she's literally an Archon, she's usually standing at the same level as everyone else, framed as part of the group, turning toward whoever is speaking, sharing the frame instead of dominating it. Even scenes where she technically stands higher above others somehow still didn't feel domineering. Meanwhile, when characters like the Grand Sage or Pantalone are framed above others, the camera suddenly becomes much more hierarchical. Higher angles, people looking upward, dominant framing. After a while, I started noticing how differently the camera frames authority. The quest clearly knows how to make someone feel powerful when it wants to. The pacing also surprised me because this quest constantly switches between gameplay, dialogue, cinematic scenes, exploration, emotional pauses, humor, tension, horror, and somehow it almost never feels exhausting. Even visually, the quest experiments way more than usual. Split screen transitions, angle dividers, dodge angles, glitches, upside down framing, distorted cuts around Dottore, and none of it feels random. The deeper the Irminsul situation gets, the more unstable the visuals start feeling. Honestly, the deeper I look into this quest, the more it felt impossible to talk about everything in one video. There's still so much I haven't even touched yet. Dottore alone could become its own discussion. Same with Nahida. Same with the cinematography. Even the way the gameplay itself is changing. And I think that's the quest's biggest achievement. Almost every part of it, from the gameplay, the character writing, the cinematography, the lore payoff, to the group dynamics, everything keeps pointing in the same direction. Teyvat is changing. The story is approaching its climax. And it genuinely feels like everybody in this world is moving toward that future together. This has been Anora.